Welcome back in to Wake Up America. Forbes just came out with an article where they claim the FBI spent almost $40 million annually on confidential informants. Joining us for more on why this matters, the CEO and founder of OpenTheBooks.com and the author of that article, Adam Andrzejewski. Adam, good morning. Nice to see you again.
Good morning, Rob. Good to see you.
I read your article. It's shocking. I just had no idea. The FBI is letting these informants also commit crimes and making them millionaires in the process. What's going on here?
Exactly. Well, the budgets are big, and most people don't know, because this is a black box by design on federal informants. So these are confidential human sources. And Rob, just think about it. It's a regular citizen's opportunity to play James Bond or 007 and help federal law enforcement close investigations. And we found they're actually, in certain circumstances, minting millionaires. So in two instances, a parcel employee, think UPS or FedEx, that informant made over $1 million. An Amtrak employee made nearly $1 million over a 6-year period, being an informant for the DEA. When an inspector general took a look at that, they said that no useful information came out of that relationship that couldn't have been gotten for free through a partnership with the Amtrak police.
It's Whitey Bulger all over again in the city of Boston. You remember that famous case? I was always under the impression that informants became informants to keep themselves out of jail. But the FBI, according to your report, the FBI authorized these informants to commit over 22,000 crimes during one 4-year period. What kind of crimes are we talking about here?
So in a 4-year period during the Obama administration, the online news organization, the Daily Dot, they did a Freedom of Information Act request. And the information came back, and they compiled this, that 23,000 times a federal informant was authorized by their handler to commit a crime. Now, Rob, you can kind of think this through. There is a public purpose to this. For example, when you're running a drug sting, your informant can execute a drug deal with a prior authorization. But there are behaviors that are never legal, and that's behaviors like violence or obstruction of justice or a complete laundry list of guidelines of behavior that you just can't commit.
Okay, so let's go back to the informant process, and sort of this has been part of FBI practice for almost a century, going back all the way to Hoover when he got started with the FBI. James Whitey Bulger, again, that name comes to mind for me. But is there any way to verify that the information that these FBI informants are actually passing along is valuable information, or are we just minting millionaires for no reason?
Well, the millionaires, obviously, those are extreme examples.
Right.
Over at the DEA, according to our analysis at OpenTheBooks.com, the average informant, 9,000 informants, made an average of $26,000 a year. So it is lucrative, but most of them aren't minting millionaires. Look, it's up to the agencies and the processes in place through the system and processes of their handlers to make sure that they're getting good information and that they're paying proper amounts to their informants, to these confidential human sources. So it is up to the agencies, Rob.
Well, it totally opens the door to corruption, though, because let's say the better an FBI agent does, the more they're going to be promoted up the ranks. So they might throw money at somebody hoping they give them good information. Meantime, this person's making a ton of money not giving them good information. It blows my mind. I had no idea this is how that process was carried out, but eye-opening for sure. Adam, good to see you again. Thank you so much for being with us.
Good to see you, Rob.